Yes, sir. We are back with another edition of Fast Break Bets presented by BettingPros. You know me, you know the voice of the guy. It's me, really real, villain real, Terrell Furman Jr. here at your service. All right. Not a good weekend. Losing couple of days over the course of the weekend, but because we were up so far in the week, I mean, you didn't. I mean, of course, you realized it. Like, oh, the account was so much larger, now it's shorter. But like, still up on the week, so still pretty glad. But I was very, very annoyed of how it closed out because I took a big swing on a couple of dogs with the Mystics and the Sparks, and they did not come through for me at all. The Sun Fever game was flying under, and that squeaks over. We have the Aces and the Sparks game that gets over. Dearica Hamby has a great game in that game as well. She gets over her PRA. And then over the weekend, small bets, not a lot going on. TJ McConnell didn't get there. And then I'm recording this game as the Valkyrie and the Lynx game is going into the second half. There was 100+ point score in the first half. So I've already gone ahead and chalked up my bet for the under as an L. Now we move on. No games on a Monday. So nothing to bet today, but let's talk about the NBA Finals while I got a day off and your attention real quick. But first, gotta remind you about that NBA player props contest. You can get into that contest. That's the third round prize, the conference finals prize, which was a Stephon Marbury signed basketball. You can still get into the contest because the final grand prize is an Allen Iverson signed jersey, and you're gonna want a chance for that. Go over there to the BettingPros app or bettingpros.com/playoffs, and you can enter in your player props for the NBA Finals and try to win that jersey. Allen Iverson signed jersey is what we're giving away for the grand prize of this contest. Make sure you do that. Betting Pros app for free. Go over there and input your player props and get into the contest, or go to bettingpros.com/playoffs. Okay, let's talk about the NBA Finals. OKC and Indiana. Shout out to Indiana for being the better team. We have a series price of OKC laying $7 minus 700 to win the series. Pacers are plus 500 over there out of the East. So, of course, I think OKC is going to win. I would first like to say I feel very vindicated with OKC here because I've been betting OKC for a long time, like multiple years before they were even this cash cow of winning games. They were a cash cow just covering the spread when they were one of those lottery teams. And so OKC and the joy that I've had betting OKC over the years, very much vindicated to see them on the chance of winning their first NBA championship right here. So, what does OKC do well? OKC plays the exact same game as the Pacers, and that's why I think the Pacers don't have a shot. OKC can run. How did the Knicks go down to the Pacers? It's because the Knicks could not run with the Pacers. The Pacers made it a track meet. The Pacers want to play fast, up tempo, and they say, we are going to outscore you. That's what's going to happen, and you cannot stop us because guess what? We can get up and down the court better than you. Not only offensively, but defensively. They are great in transition defense, one of the best in the league. And that really, really mess with the Knicks. So while they're running up and down the court, the Pacers are converting their attempts. The Knicks were not. Issue for the Pacers, I think, here is that OKC is one of the best in the league at pushing the pace, going up tempo, offensively and defensively. OKC can get back in transition, and OKC can absolutely score better than the Pacers. And so OKC can play the Pacers game and play it better than them. And I think that's what's going to make this really, really tough for the Pacers to overcome. Because what happens if OKC makes this a defensive game where they say, all right, we're going to force you to slow the game down because we're going to get back in transition. We're not going to let you get up these quick shot attempts, and you're going to have to play out the half court. That's not what Indiana wants to do, and that's where Indiana starts to struggle. So I could see games kind of get out of hand when OKC forces them to play slow out of the half court, and Indiana is not making as many attempts, whereas OKC is still really, really good in their half court sets and when they're pushing the tempo, moving fast. And so I just think OKC is going to be a lot more efficient here offensively. And then it'll be hit or miss, honestly, for me, if the Pacers offense is going to be clicking or not, because they can run fast and they can start hitting a bunch of shots and they can find themselves in a game in a shootout with OKC. The only problem is in a shootout with OKC, I still favor OKC. Whereas in a shootout with the Knicks, it was all Pacers all the way. And so I think that's what's gonna rattle the Pacers here when they get into those games where they just can't stop anything, and this OKC team can walk into 130. Like it's really, really hard to win a playoff game if OKC is scoring 130. And so I think this is gonna be rough for the Pacers. I really do. I don't have a bet on the side. I didn't know because 2.5 games for OKC is minus 140. Like that's really not how I want to play it. So I took a similar approach. Give me under 5.5 games for the series, minus 135. I think that this is a relatively short series. I think those people that say the NBA is losing ratings, because there's a whole big fan base that just loves to talk about how, oh, the NBA have these teams nobody cares about in the finals. They're going to lose ratings, this, that, and the third. The NBA is boring, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, I mean, I'm sorry, the matchup just, I feel like the matchup calls for this not to be a long, entertaining finals. I think this is one of the best teams in the league, and this is a Pacers team that got really, really hot over the finals, but I think it's over. So yeah, I'm on under 5.5 games. I think OKC gets this done in 4 or 5. To be honest, the 5.5 games feels gets me covered, but I really don't think that they're gonna have a chance for a game 6. I think OKC sweeps the 2 home games. They split 1-1 on the road. If even that, they might end up even sweeping this, and this be a really, really ugly finals. But because it's gonna come down to what can you do in a close game? And I think that's the one part that does make me scared for OKC, and maybe we lose the second game here. Because if you force OKC into a close game, you have a Pacers team who is really, really good at playing close games. I just don't think that they're going to get OKC to many close games here. Maybe one in Indiana, maybe. But I don't think that there's going to be a lot of close games here. I think that this is going to be OKC playing defense, creating a buffer for themselves, and saying, okay, we can run up and down the court all you want, but we're going to keep you this far away from us as we try to secure this win. So under 5.5 games, I think this ends in 4 or 5, and that's what I like for the series. Now, I'll give you a game 1 play in just a second. But first, I have to talk to you about Bet365. You can go get down on all of this action I'm telling you at Bet365 over there. Use this link, bettingpros.com/bet365, and you can deposit at least $10. And when you do that, you can bet $5 and you'll earn $150 in bonus bets. Again, that's Bet365, bettingpros.com/bet365. 21 and up only. Must be present in Arizona, Colorado, Illinois, Indiana, Iowa, Kentucky, Louisiana, North Carolina, raise up, New Jersey, Ohio, Tennessee, or Virginia. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or 1-800-BET-SOFT if you live in Iowa. Terms and conditions apply. All right. So, game 1. That was a series play. Here's a game 1 play. You should already know what it is. I talked about it. I wonder, that's a pop quiz. Do you know what this game 1 bet that I already told you that I was going to lock in immediately was? All right, if you don't have it now, you're not going to get it. I am betting the Pacers team total under 110.5 in the first game of the NBA Finals. So, OKC has played a total of, hold on, whoops, lost my page here. But OKC has played a total of seven 7 games at home here over the course of the playoffs. They have is it 7? No, it's more than 7. It's more than 7. They played 2, so 2, 3, and then 4, so 6, and then 9. Yes, 9. That's what it was. 9. 9 total home games. The only one that they allowed a team to go over their team total was the game that they blew the 20-point lead to the Denver Nuggets, and it went to overtime. That is it. That's it. Every other game, they have been able to hold their opponent under their team total here. Yes, I do think this is a fast-paced game, but if OKC wants to go into the series saying, hey, we know the Pacers play fast and we know we can play fast, but we can also play slow as well, and let's throw them off of their game, then they can absolutely do that in game 1. Play a really, really heavy style of defense in game 1 and throw them completely off rhythm. So I really, really do like OKC here to be able to handle business at home. Yet again, they've been stingy. They've been one of the best defenses at home over the course of the entire season. And the 8-1 record to the opponent's team total under is really, really astonishing. And it makes sense of what OKC's been able to do all year. And this is where the regular season makes playoffs. What can you carry over from your regular season into the playoffs? And what they've been able to do is outside of that game, that they just had that mental breakdown and blew it to Denver. Did I say overtime? That wasn't the overtime game. That was the other game was the overtime game. But either way, they haven't had a meltdown like that since game 1 of the semifinals. They didn't have a down like that before that. I am going to predict that they don't have a meltdown like that again. I think that this is going to be OKC all the way in game 1, and I think that the better way that I would play it rather than OKC on the spread is just backing them to play defense in game 1 like they've been doing over the course of the entire playoffs. So I like OKC, not OKC, for the Pacers to go under their team total 110.5. I already locked that bet in. I'm ready. I'll have player props for later on in the week for the game, but I've already locked in a play on the total. That's going to be the Pacers team total under 110.5 here. And that's what I'm doing in the NBA Finals to get started. Thunder Pacers for the series under 5.5 games, and the Pacers team total under 110.5 in game 1. All right. I'm at reallyreal__. Make sure you give me a follow on X at BettingPros on X and TikTok at BettingPros NFL on Instagram and YouTube.com/BettingPros, where you can subscribe, comment, and you'll have a chance to win our jersey of June, because we do still have to give away the Dennis Rodman for May. We're going to have a new jersey in June. Can't wait to announce that. I'll probably announce it tomorrow. So with that being said, that's it. Nothing else to say, nothing else to do. No other way of ending the podcast. Just going to do like this. We are out of here.